All right, welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive? Today, we're tackling a breed with a reputation as powerful as their bite, the Rottweiler.
Yeah, and that reputation, it can be a bit intimidating, but like with most things, I think understanding where it comes from can really help.
Right. I mean, maybe you're thinking about adding a Rottie to your family, or maybe you just want to feel more comfortable around the ones you see at the park.
Absolutely. And honestly, there's a lot more to these dogs than meets the eye.
So let's dive into that. What are we looking at for sources today for understanding this breed's personality?
Well, we've got a mix, actually. Some breed standards from kennel clubs, training guides, even some studies on canine behavior.
Sounds like a good blend of practical and scientific perspectives.
Yeah, exactly. Should give us a pretty well-rounded view.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So what's the mission for this deep dive then? What do we really want listeners to come away with?
Hmm. I think understanding the Rottweiler, not just their strengths, but also the responsibilities that come with owning one.
I like that. All right, so first things first, we got to talk about loyalty. Like Rottweiler 101, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's a huge part of their appeal for many people. They're fiercely loyal to their families, like it's built into their DNA.
Yeah, but is it just like loving their family or is there more to it?
It goes deeper. It's a natural guarding instinct.
Yeah.
Like they were bred to protect, livestock, property. So they've got this inborn sense of responsibility for their pack, which now is their human family.
So they're not just big softies then. They're actually ready to step up if they need to.
Oh, yeah. And you hear stories all the time about Rotties protecting their owners from real threats. I remember reading about one who saved a kid from a charging dog. Like, no hesitation, just pure instinct.
Wow, that's impressive. But I think people might be surprised to hear that despite all that, these dogs are generally pretty calm, aren't they?
Right, exactly. They're confident dogs, not easily spooked. So, yeah, they're alert and watchful, but they're not going to be, like, reactive or jumpy over nothing.
Yeah, like they assess the situation first, right? They
Yeah.
use that brain power we talked about.
Exactly. And that's actually why they've been so successful as working dogs, too. Police dogs, search and rescue, they can handle the pressure because they're level-headed.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've got loyalty, we've got calm confidence, but let's talk training because Rotties are, well, they're known for being smart, but sometimes that translates to stubborn.
Oh, for sure. They need an owner who understands how to work with that intelligence. They're not just going to blindly obey. They want to know why.
So it's less about commanding them and more about like partnering with them in training.
That's a great way to put it. Positive reinforcement goes a long way with this breed. Reward the good behavior, and they'll be eager to learn more.
But what about when they do get stubborn? Any tips for handling that?
Consistency is key. You can't give in sometimes and then be strict other times. They'll pick up on that inconsistency real quick. And clear boundaries are super important.
Like they need to know who's boss.
Yeah. I mean, we hate to use that term, but it's about leadership, right? Showing them you're the one making the decisions.
Okay, so we've got the brains, the loyalty, but let's talk about their softer side.
Hmm.
Because I know plenty of Rottie owners who say these dogs are absolute sweethearts with their families.
Oh, 100%. That loyalty we talked about, it goes hand in hand with affection. They love their families, including kids.
Okay,
But there's a big but here.
okay, I'm sensing a but coming. What's the catch?
Early socialization is absolutely crucial. I mean, it is for any dog, but especially with Rotties. Because remember, they're naturally watchful, sometimes even wary of strangers.
So we're talking about exposing them to different people, places, experiences, right? When they're puppies.
Exactly. The more they see, the more they learn what's normal, what's not a threat. And that helps prevent them from becoming overly protective or fearful in new situations.
That makes a lot of sense. And I think this is where that whole dominant behavior thing comes in, right? People hear about Rottweilers being dominant and maybe get a bit worried.
Yeah, and it's important to understand what that really means. It's not necessarily aggression, it's more about them testing boundaries, figuring out where they fit in the pack.
So like if they don't have clear leadership, they might try to take on that role themselves.
Right. And that can manifest in different ways. Pulling on the leash, ignoring commands, resource guarding. It's like they're saying, hey, if you're not going to lead, I guess I will.
So it goes back to that firm but fair approach, making sure they understand their place in the family.
Exactly. And again, it's not about being harsh. It's about being consistent and clear, giving them the structure they need to thrive.
So it sounds like with Rotties, we're almost talking about raising a mini muscular human,
Yeah.
with all the complexities that come with it.
Huh. In some ways, yeah. It's definitely a more involved breed than, say, a golden retriever.
All right, so last question. Ultimately, What shapes a Rottweiler's personality? Is it all in their genes, or does upbringing play a bigger role?
Well, it's always that nature versus nurture debate, right? They definitely come pre-wired with certain tendencies, the intelligence, the loyalty, that protective streak.
But we can influence how those traits express themselves.
Hugely. The environment they're raised in, the training they receive, the socialization they get, all those things have a massive impact on how their personality develops.
So a well-raised Rottweiler, with the right guidance, can be the most amazing family companion.
Oh, without a doubt. They can be gentle, playful, goofy even, but it takes work. It takes commitment.
So, listeners, if you're thinking about a Rottweiler, remember, it's not just about their strength or their looks. It's about understanding their unique blend of intelligence, loyalty, and that protective drive. And it's about being willing to put in the time and effort to nurture them the right way.
Yeah, because when you do, when you truly understand this breed, you get a companion that's unmatched. Like their devotion is something else.
It sounds like with Rottweilers, more than maybe any other breed, it's really about finding the right fit, the right owner for the right dog.
Absolutely. And then, well, you've got a friend for life, a
Yeah.
pretty powerful friend at that. But one that's just as happy snuggling on the couch as they are, keeping a watchful eye on their family.
So that's something to think about. The power of understanding, not just with Rottweilers, but with any breed. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and until next time, happy training, everyone.